Well, this show sure was shit. You know, on second thought, that was very unfair, uncharacteristic, unbecoming, and honestly, so uncouth of me. I need to think of something more creative, more grandiose, more vocabularistic. Is that even a word? Well, fuck it, it is now. But in the meantime, I'm John Rant with my review of AEW Dynamite from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I just thought of something during that. Thought of something much more grandiose, much more creative, and much more vocabularistic. Well, fucking goddamn hell, this show sure was shit. Okay, I certainly tried, at least as much as anybody putting this show together tried. There were elements on this show that I wanted to like, and then they would immediately get pounded into the goddamn dirt. Boom, 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 to the point that even if I liked some moment, I was like, okay, they just completely negated it with interference and bullshit, making the referee seem ineffective, and there are some feuds I don't care about, and I'm excited for Double or Nothing, because I'm always at least somewhat excited for AEW pay-per-views because they usually put quite a bit of effort into the cards. Good, bad, or indifferent, I'm always excited to see what storylines can pay off and what storylines can begin and what titles can change hands. God damn. If the television is anything like this leading up to it, there's going to be some issues. Also, I want to ask something for anybody that was in attendance. Were you guys really loud in the arena? Because there were times where the crowd came across well on television, and then other times where they didn't. And I don't know if there's audio issues or were there just parts of the show that you guys didn't enjoy. I'm genuinely curious, because there were parts I wouldn't have blamed the crowd for not caring about. So, whoa, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Jungle Jack, whatever the hell you want to call him, he gets a pop. Sammy interrupts him. Darby interrupts him. And they're going to jaw Jack back and forth because they all want a title shot. And wait, we've seen this before. A few weeks ago, where it was good. This is more of the same. Except now it just kind of feels like they're spinning their goddamn wheels here. And it still feels like they're spinning their wheels by the end of the show. Darby basically says to Sammy, I think that Jericho's holding you back. Looks at Jungle Jack and says, you know, you were handpicked because you're part of the California clique. And nothing about you intimidates me. And then Jack basically says, if only people knew how you really were. All these kids that have their faces painted like you. And there were some parts that weren't too bad, like, but just, it felt like more of the same. Like what you see with Sammy is what you get, but you're just basically a piece of shit, and they managed to edit that. Piece of shit chants. Not the only time those chants come out. And then Sammy basically says, Jungle Boy and MJF were handpicked. He had to fight. Darby wasn't even working here. They were always on pay-per-views. But Darby wasn't on the pay-per-view because he was off. Revolution. And Sammy wasn't on the pay-per-view either. And they do more stuff and everything and whatever. And they talk about the respective TNT title wins. Sammy mentioning that Darby was the first pillar to win gold. And then he won it twice. They all want to be champ. And I know this was going long, and then here's MJF. And, well, Pittsburgh, I don't care about you because you guys think that Britt Baker is talented, just to get a boo right there. And I talked to my good buddy Tony Khan, and here's the idea. It's going to be a three-pillar tournament. Someone's going to get a bye, 2 people are going to face off, and the name that I pick out of the hat will get the bye. And it's Darby. Of course it's Darby. He just rolls his eyes. So it's Sammy and Jungle Jack Perry. And that match is taking place next week. Psych, it's taking place tonight. It got to a decent conclusion. Okay, they have a hook, not a hook, for the end. Okay. And then we have the Outcast, a.k.a. the SWO. The Scabies World Order. At least I feel like, massive cases of scabies are breaking out every time Saraya, Defender of Abusiverse is around. Ruby doesn't mean anything. Tony doesn't mean anything. And Jamie Hayter gets a big pop. Britt gets a bigger pop because Pittsburgh. And then they have a big old fight, before the match even begins. It's Jamie and Britt against Ruby and Tony, and Saraya kept, doing this kind of stuff and mugging for the camera and knocking the fans and people that had the terrible towels and everything. I assume some of Britt's family there. I don't really know. This is one of the better matches that the women have had lately, at least as far as the crowd helping. But What didn't help was, one, Jamie is way better than this goddamn Outcast bullshit. They love Britt. We got... Later during this, after Jamie had done stuff and had been taken, Britt got the tag. She kicked, we got distractions, she got hit with a belt shot and a Storm Zero, 2 count. So what's it going to take next? You're going to have to club her over the goddamn head with a claw hammer? Split her skull open to do that? Don't do that, that would be bad. But we get a stomp, kick out, and then a lockjaw taps Ruby Soho. It started fine and then dissolved into bullshit. They also make the referee seem ineffective. And then Renee is with Wardlow. He's got Arn in his corner. I noted that Arn needs to lose weight. I am worried about Arn Anderson. It's scary, actually. And it's all because Tully was helping Wardlow, and now Arn's going to help Wardlow. I honestly forgot that Tully had any association with Wardlow and the Pinnacle stuff and whatever. All that, or the, I totally forgot about that stuff. I honestly did. So the Elite have ruined Kansas for me, I want to say. So it's Omega and the Bucks. They're there. Omega barely gets to talk much, doesn't have much to say. It's to call them out to, hey, let's squash this beef. Let's quash this beef once and for all. Yeah, let's squash this beef once and for all. Yeah, okay, we know what basically, I mean, come on. It's a little wink wink at the camera. But then Danielson shows up on the screen. That's just to distract, so Moxley, Claudio, and Yuta can attack, and then we get a big old fight and everything, and they're all blah everywhere. You're fighting all over the arena. That's new. We haven't seen that before. And then Danielson comes out. Callis runs out, and then runs back when they basically say, what the fuck are you doing, essentially? Danielson then has a screwdriver. Why? Danielson being a heel is great, but we got to fix this house. I'm going to stab him with a screwdriver. You know, I liked when he came back and he turned heel. Now I don't want to see any of these people anymore. I don't want to see Danielson on my television. And it's going to lead to blood and guts. That's what it's leading to. By the way, Don Callis then comes back out and gets Takeshita to clean house and basically run off Danielson. Now, Takeshita gets a big pop, and Takeshita can move and do some stuff, but it just, God damn it. Hello, Dasha, my goodness, is what I know. I did not care about that previous segment. Care about Dasha, though. TV doesn't do justice for how beautiful she is. Wardlow with Arn took on Hobbs with QT, and why is there a Cinemax After Dark Extra in QT TV? Who is she? Why is she there? Has this been explained on a television program, not on AEW Dark or Dark Elevation? I'm not saying that people don't get, shouldn't get ring time there, but just it's a TNT Championship match, and we've got Arn over there, one of the best workers of his generation. QT, that hasn't meant anything. This Hobbs Wardlow thing could have meant something because they're two power guys, and with the right build and with the right people putting it together, this could mean something. If they do big man stuff, and by the way, the only reason that Arn is there to nullify QT is because of something that happened, and I kid you not, on March 31st, 2021. Remember where QT, attacked Arn and did all that stuff and everything? They created the factory out of that. Remember that bullshit? That's what they're referencing. Something from over 2 years ago that nobody fucking cares about because it's fucking QT. Jesus. Rampage is this Saturday. They like Wardlow because apparently he started in Pittsburgh. And I like Hobbs. I'd like him a whole lot more if he wasn't associated with QT. We get a senton by Wardlow. Very impressive. And then we get whoever the hell the blonde is trying to do the Miss Hancock thing, except Stacy Keibler actually could, mug for the camera, and Stacy Keibler was an athlete, and Stacy Keibler actually was beneficial to wrestling, unlike whoever this is. And then we get a diamond cutter from behind the goddamn referee, a spine buster for 2. Then Arn pulls out the Glock. I mean, he pulls out his hand and does the gun motion. Maybe you shouldn't have done that with the, recent string of nutty, goddamn, stupid fucking gun people. Fuck every single one of y'all that defend that shit. I'm not talking about owning a gun. I'm talking about nuts doing that shit. But nevertheless, I mean, the crowd popped for it. Penta's here. Kicks QT. QT rolls in the ring, gets hit with a DDT by Arn. A QDT, as it were. All this while the referee's like, wonder what's going on. 3 power bombs, new champ. Thanks for coming, Hobbs. They had Wardlow lose at Full Gear. He won it back from Samoa Joe after being injured, coming back, and then holding it for a few days, and Hobbs wins it. And Hobbs could have done all this stuff and done great if he wasn't associated with QT. And now he held it for what, 5 weeks, 6 weeks? I think 6 weeks. It was a show after Revolution that Hobbs won, right? So about 6 weeks. And then immediately Christian and Luchasaurus come out. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Thanks for coming, Hobbs. And I got nothing against Wardlow. I'm all for the 24/7, the TNT Championship. It's basically the European Championship after the Bulldog lost it. It doesn't mean anything. And I like Wardlow, and I like Hobbs, and this was a no-win situation. This was sloppy. Renee is with Sammy about the main event. MJF interrupts and says, "You stick your tongue out more than Gene Simmons on meth, but I like you, Sammy. Here's a blank check. Write your number, or name your price, and I'll guarantee you a spot in the main event at Double or Nothing." And then Sammy's like, "Well, friends don't do this, or friends don't shake hands, they hug." And then it's obvious that MJF's gonna screw over Sammy, and then we're gonna get the 4-way at Double or Nothing. I'd be very surprised if we didn't. And then Jay White with Juice Robinson took on Commander. It's the White Command. No, I will not say that with how he spells his name. Oh boy, referee Rick Knox, so nothing will be enforced because Rick Knox is terrible. Sean Spears is there for some reason, holding up 10 cards. Jay White is a catalyst of pro wrestling. If catalysts are meant to make me be interested in something else, then yes, I guess he catalyzes me to go over here. I don't even think that's how that works, but Jay White is technically sound. He bores me. And this match, Commander can do cool shit athletically and walk the ropes. It ain't wrestling, but he can do that. And it was what it was. Blade Runner, 1, 2, 3. And then we get a 2-on-1 where Sean Spears ends up getting pulled in, and then Ricky Starks comes out and hits a hell of a goddamn spear on Juice Robinson. There's your tag match for either a Dynamite or a Rampage. Renee is with FTR and says, "Hey, by the way, Mark Briscoe got attacked by a bunch of people that I didn't even catch who the hell they were, at least at first. And then wait, they're in the trainer's room. It just happens to be over there. Boom, they go over there. Then Team TNA is there, and now it's going to be Lethal and Jarrett and FTR against, I believe, the varsity athletes, Daivari, Woods, Nice, and a guy called Slim J, whoever the fuck he is, on Rampage." Okay. And Mark Briscoe, by the way, encouraged them to team up. Because apparently they are bound determined to say to Mark Briscoe, "Mark, just try to make sense of this, please." Jericho and Cole make their entrances. You want to talk about a feud I don't care about? Look, Adam Cole, I hope he can have a great second part to his career, because it was touch and go whether he was going to be able to come back. Jericho, haven't cared about shit that he's done for 2 years. Cole respects Jericho. Jericho fires back, calls him arrogant. Cole basically says, "Well, you're what we would call a jagoff. And who is the real Chris Jericho? An insecure, fickle, stupid idiot." Jericho doesn't, he says, "You don't want to know me. You don't want to try to intimidate me in any way." And then, unfortunately, I thought it was bad and it got worse. So here's Daniel Garcia out to attack. Britt Baker comes out, slaps Jericho, and then the Outcast show up from under the ring. Why? And then they cuff Cole. It's cuffing season. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's even close to what the fuck it is. And with weird handcuffs, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Jericho has a kendo stick. "Do it, hit me, Chris. Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing now? Hit me. Ow." It's like Arnold in Predator. But then he hands a stick to the Outcast, and they beat the shit out of what? Maybe it's Saraya, defender of Abusiverse. They stick Britt constantly. So now they basically reduce Adam Cole to... There's nothing wrong with making a guy sympathetic if you want him to be cheered, but just no. They're chanting piece of shit. They're combining the JAS and the Outcast. Two of the worst groups going in wrestling today. Maybe even worse than House of Torture. Because goddamn it, how you would think... This is one of the worst things they've done in a while. This was really, really bad. This was the point where I was like, I don't even want to know if I want to review Dynamite now. Because it was really bad. Package on the firm deletion match. Speaking of shit, I don't want to goddamn see. I don't want to see the Hardys anymore. Let's do more cinematic stuff from the Broken Universe that was over 7 years ago. And hasn't been any good in years, in my opinion. And the Acclaim, well, Max Caceres will get the taste of Jericho's jizz out of your mouth. Okay. So the Acclaimed and Billy took on Hager in 2.0. And the Acclaimed won, because I don't give a fuck about Jake Hager or 2.0. And while I'm happy that 2.0 are getting checks, Hager has been stealing money from Tony Khan for the past 4 years almost. And next week is going to be Taya Valkyrie versus Jake, defending the TBS title. That's it. Somebody will pop for the Jade song. Jack Perry and Sammy took on each other, and the winner will face Darby, who's watching from Sting's old stomping grounds up in the balcony. And it was the typical stuff you would expect from these guys. They can work good with veterans when they are there and left to their own devices. They do flips and flops, and Sammy did a Spanish fly to the floor, and I said, oh, fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. If they're not going to take it seriously, neither am I. We got a cutter and a poison Rana, and then we got a bad table. I was worried Jungle Boy really got a concussion, hitting the table like he did, hitting that spot. That was dangerous. And then a referee distraction, and then a ring shot from MJF, who was watching from backstage, but then ran out, did that, and a count-out win for Sammy. And MJF is gloating and praising Sammy and all this and everything. They're hugging each other, and obviously he's going to screw over Sammy next week. But it is what it is. Or he'll inadvertently cost him the match. But, yeah, this was just... That was not good. That was not a good episode of Dynamite. Agree, disagree, what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.